Hey everyone, James Hurst with the Marketing Show. I'm here with Justin Melendez, and I saw that he was posting on Facebook today that he had pretty cool result from some split testing. I thought, you know what? I've done a little bit of split testing, but I've never really taught split testing on my channel. So I wanted to invite Justin on today and tell us what he did with the split testing in high level. Justin, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, James. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I appreciate you actually looking at my content. Sometimes I feel like I posted and nobody looked at it. So the fact that you reached out was awesome. Thank you for that.
I know the feeling. I do have this little mental note to myself that I think more people see your stuff than you know. But a lot of people don't comment or like, and it can't be you cannot do wonder sometimes who's watching.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and share your screen
Yeah.
and let's go through what you did. So first of all, I think split testing is available on all plans now. Is that right? Do you know?
I think they moved it all. I think even the $97 a month
Yeah.
plan has split testing available.
Yeah, so at its core, you basically, everyone has your web page that you're running traffic to, but the idea is that you can have a variant, so another split test, so you have an A and a B version. And this is actually what I saw that was earning $1.66 per page view, and whatever you did, you bumped it up to $3.24. And so tell us about that. How do you start a split test? What's a good split test for someone to do for your first one, a beginner? Maybe what can you show us?
Yeah. I'll try to break it down for you. And I'll start by saying like I'm not a CRO agency. I don't do this for a living. This is an experiment that I'm running for my business. It's the first time I put together a course and I sold it sort of as a mini course or some people call them low ticket offers or
Yep.
self-liquidating offers. So it's a $27 course that I've packed jam full of value. And I'm spending about $175 a day right now on Facebook and Instagram ads. And so I figured while I do that, like let me learn something about my audience and about, some of the assets I have, like my landing pages, my funnels,
Yeah.
whatever
I,
jargon you want to use. So go ahead, James.
I was just thinking, I think whenever you're testing something, like make sure you're not like changing a bunch of different things, right? Like change
Yeah.
one small thing or maybe two very big differences, like something
Yeah.
like that.
That's very important. And I'll tell you what I tested here in a second and where you saw the delta. And I screenshotted this sort of early on in the split test. But I let this run for a few days. But yeah, that's very important because there's so many variables in all this, right? You have sort of the creative on the page, but then you also have like your all the factors that go into running an ad campaign, your targeting, your
Yeah.
creative, your headline, like all these like things if you start changing too many things at once, like are you really truly split testing? So changing one thing at a time is important. And then also equally dividing the traffic. And we'll hop in to showing you like how we can create a split test and how we can decide how much traffic goes to the A versus the
Yeah.
B variant. But in this
Yeah.
scenario, we were split testing prices of a bump offer. And so I know that's a lot of words and people may not know what a bump offer is, but if I can try to simplify it for you, the course that I'm selling is $27. And then there's
Okay.
an additional item that anybody can choose to add to the cart as sort of a bonus. And I was split testing the price of that bonus,
Okay.
$9 versus $27. And
Okay.
so that's why you see the price difference in earnings per page view.
And I think that is a good point is if you just kind of have your website out there and you only have a handful of people kind of visiting, um, you're probably not going to have enough traffic to really justify a split test, but you're putting some, significant amount of ad spend towards this. And so what would you say is the minimum amount of visits you would want to be having traffic wise before you consider doing a split test?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I have that question myself as well. And so recently I followed somebody who, makes a living running these sorts of offers. And just in a webinar, they mentioned that they recommend 500 page views per variant. So that's 1,000 page views total or 1,000
Okay.
clicks. I guess clicks and page views can be different, but 1,000 total. And just observe the results of that. Now, admittedly, like I said, I'm not a professional, so I would run anywhere between two to 300 before I made a decision, and then I just wanted to go into my next split test. So whether
Yeah.
it was like a design variant or a pricing variant, I'm just eager to split test, which could be a mistake. Who
I
knows? It's
mean,
working out so far.
if you raise the price and it's working, like
Right.
you might as well just take it and run with it, right?
That's what happened is I like started seeing the, $54 carts come in versus the $36 carts come in. And I'm just like, well, do I just keep doing this or move it
Ah,
over? Yeah.
that's cool. So can you take us to the interface where someone like brand new would go to their website and start a split test?
Yeah. So right now I'm in GoHighLevel. Lead Brain is my version of GoHighLevel, but I'm right here in a thank you page, just as an example. But if you come
Okay.
in here to sites and then funnels is where your split testing can occur. So you can choose any step in the funnel to split test, and you'll see an interface like this. You see sort of this start split test. This means there's no split test running right now.
Okay. Okay.
If we wanted to start it, we would need to create a variant. And so GoHighLevel makes it super easy for you to do that because when you click it, it's going to ask you, hey, do you want to like use another
Y-
funnel somewhere else? Or
Right.
do you want to duplicate the control or do you want to start from scratch, right? And I think 99% of the time, I don't know, GoHighLevel's probably split
Duplicate.
tested this. People just duplicate the control, right? Because
Yeah.
like you mentioned, you just want to change one thing. And so I just went ahead and clicked that. Sometimes it takes a second. And let's see. Yeah, I double clicked it because I got impatient, but there you go. So just like
Okay.
that, we created a variant. Now, at this point, the page is the same. So we need to actually go into the funnel editor and make our change.
Make that change.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can pop in here and edit, and don't laugh at me, but this is a Spanish funnel. I actually took my course and I translated it into Spanish and then ran some
Okay.
traffic to this. So it's interesting.
Nice.
But let's just say for this example, we want to come in here and on the thank you page. Realistically, you wouldn't be split testing the thank you page unless you had like an
Yeah.
additional call to action or additional upsell. But let's just play here. Let's see, image. Let's just add an image to this one. If we had a call to action here with an image, let's see, say we wanted to add that and save it.
Perfect. So you create your variant, you duplicate the control, and then you make the change.
Correct.
And then
And I published it. So I made the
mhm.
change, and because it's attached to a domain, I can publish it. You have to publish it. If you don't, it's just going to stay as the preview. Now I click back and I sort of have these two split tests, and I'll pop these out so you can see what they look like.
Okay. I was
So
going to
we've
say too,
got
from a technical standpoint, from like a load balancer, it kind of hits the main URL, and then it either picks one of these two the
yeah,
sessions.
and Go
And
High Level's handling that for you.
yeah, I think also maybe we should open up that URL on both of those. So maybe you want to look nicer, like if you go into high level and you open up this gear icon on the different ones, that's where you can actually change the split test URL. So maybe page A, thank you page A,
Yeah,
thank you page B.
that's great. That's a great. See, I haven't even done that. I just let
Yeah,
it go to the ugly
the ugly URL.
alphanumeric.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then
URL.
so then you would do the same thing on the other one, just like that. So then it's a little bit cleaner and you can easy to see in the reporting, probably a little bit
Yeah,
better.
no,
What
that's
about
great.
this percent of traffic? I mean, obviously 50/50 or
Yeah,
um
so I think so, and it's important to note that at this point, like, hey, we did make our change. Like, I can see it here. I can see the two changes. Now,
yep,
the split test isn't occurring yet. So at
right.
this point, there's no split test running. The control is still this one here on the left
Getting
is still
all
the
of
main
it.
page. So in order to start it, what you want to do is adjust the traffic. And so, I mean, I'm not a professional, but I would think
50.
50/50 sounds like a even split.
Yeah.
And so that's where I set mine to, and then just click
Uh
apply.
I think, you know, imagine that you've got things working really well and you're kind of nervous to mess with a good thing. Maybe then you would just like take I'm just going to take like 5% of my traffic and just kind of see how this does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's the idea.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
yeah, but 50/50 seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, I think so. And again, like it's cool because every iteration I do this, like I'm learning stuff. And quite frankly, the point of the split test is to sort of learn from it. And so
Hmm.
I'm sure as I continue to iterate, I'll find different ways and different scenarios to split test. all I did there was move the slider to 50, press OK. It confirmed with me, hey, are you sure you want to start splitting this traffic? I said yes. And right now the split test is running. And so,
Yeah.
this is just an example, but in the event somebody browses to this URL right here, GoHighLevel is going to automatically divvy that traffic to try to
Yeah.
gather.
So if you're going to go to to Facebook ads or Google ads, you would give them not either of those two, but the top one there. Can you go up a little bit
Yep,
with your
right.
mouse right there? That's the URL that does the automatic splitting for you,
Correct. And if you
right?
ever forget, it'll tell you down here
Mm,
routing traffic from the following paths, and
yeah.
this URL down here is the same as this one up here.
And if you wanted to clean that up, you could click on the gear icon right there to the left of the URL too.
Right there. There you go.
You could call that thank you. Yeah, thank you. And then sure. So then you let it run for a while and come back and you look at your stats, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, here's one actively we have running right
Mm,
now. So I have a variant, and this is actually a landing page. So if you see, this is a big design difference.
mm,
I've moved on from the pricing difference. I've determined my winning price, which is a
mm.
$27 bump offer. And then now what we're doing is running a design change right here. And
Yeah.
so we've got sort of two different
Very distinct.
topical sections.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what it's looking like right now, just so you can see, is actually the one that has the video sales letter there is performing slightly better, but I don't think we have enough data yet to
Mm,
determine that. I'll let it run for the next few days and see which one performs better.
yeah.
But you can see, I mean, it's pretty similar, minor variations, but it's important to note, like these small variations, like 13.7% versus 11%, like that's big money.
Hmm.
Whenever it's volume, right? So you
Volume.
surely just want to let the data speak for itself and choose the winner that way.
And what's cool is like you now take the new winner and then you can split test the next thing and you're always kind of competing against your control.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'm not sure at what point it becomes like, hey, just leave it alone. But
yeah, yeah.
like I said in the beginning, this for me is an experiment. It's the first time I really run an offer like this, so I'm really trying to like not only profit from the course sales, like that's all cool, but I really want to learn something while I'm running this campaign. I'm spending 175 dollars a day. I want to learn something as well as make
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll say this, one last thing here on the split test. So these numbers that you're seeing right in front of you, it's not everything, right? So like earlier we kind of honed in on earnings per page view, and that's cool and all. But if your cost per like page view or cost per sale spiked, because of the variant, then you have to like just take a holistic approach and really pay attention to, okay, cool, yeah, you're making an extra $5 per page view or whatever the number was,
yeah.
but did it cost you an extra $10 to get that sale? And so you kind of have to pay attention to both sides.
To all your numbers.
Correct. The ad campaign and the split test. And I know the numbers can get overwhelming. So try to simplify it as much as you can, but just realize that the data you're looking at here doesn't always tell the whole story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool, man. Um, anything else, or should we tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, let me think. There's anything else on the split test stuff? No, I encourage you guys to do the split testing, figure it out, especially if you're newer. I think some people who are more seasoned, have more data, have more ad spend, they're probably pretty familiar with it, or maybe they have an agency doing it for them and they don't
Mm,
even know about it. But give it a shot. If you're running ads, I recommend you do it. As far as where to find me, YouTube. YouTube is sort of my newest endeavor where I put together content to try to help people really just solve the problems that I've had in my own business, and I put it together in tutorial form. So if you go to YouTube and search Justin Dash Melendez, that's my
nice.
handle. You should find me.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, so let us know if you guys have already done some split tests, how they've gone. If you have any extra pointers or tips for us, leave those in the comments. And with that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.